Hi friends, welcome to Raman tutorial for English. This is Ramakant from Tumkur. My dear friends, in this video we are going to learn about activize and passivize. My dear friends, before we are going to learn how to convert from active into passivize, let us go and learn some more information about activize and passivize. My dear friends, what is activize and what is passivize? What is activize and what is passivize? So let us go and learn. See, a transitive verb has two voices. My dear friends, what is transitive verb? A transitive verb is a verb which has the object. Which has the object. How can we observe a transitive verb has an object? So, if we frame a question to get underlined word as answer, that object part answers to the question who or what, then we can say that verb in that sentence, the verb has object. So let us go and learn with the examples a little bit later. See, a transitive verb has two voices. One is active voice, other one is passive voice. The voice of the verb shows whether the subject is the doer of the action or the subject is the receiver of the action. The voice shows. See here, in this sentence, the boy killed the rat. The boy killed the rat. Here, killed is the transitive verb. How can you say killed is the transitive verb? Because when you ask a question to get the object part, that means this is subject, this is verb, this is object. So when the object part, at the time of framing a WH question, if the object part answers to the question who or what, it answers to the question who or what, then this verb is the transitive verb. For example, here you can ask here, what did the boy kill? Here this rat answers to the question what did the boy kill. That's why this is the transitive verb. If transitive verb is there in that sentence, let us go. The transitive verb generally has two voices. One is active voice, other one is passive voice. In the first question or first sentence, the boy killed the rat. So here the boy is the subject, the boy is the subject, killed is the verb, and then rat is the object. Here the boy is the doer of the action. So that's why this is active sentence, my dear friends. So like this, in the second sentence, so the rat was killed by the boy. So here rat is the subject, was killed is the verb, boy is the object. Here, so rat is the receiver of the action. From whom? From the boy. So that's why when the action is received, the subject is received the action. When the subject receives the action, then that sentence we can call it as a passive sentence. In passive sentence, subject is the receiver of the action, whereas in active sentence, subject is the doer of the action. In the question B, in the sentence B, rat is the receiver of the action. In the sentence A, the boy is the doer of the action. When the subject is the doer of the action, that is active voice. When the subject is receiver of the action, that is passive voice, my dear friends. See here, let us go and learn something more about active and passive voice. Where do we use generally active voice and passive voice? Where do we use generally active voice and passive voice? So here we can use, if we want to give importance, if we want to give importance, if we want to give importance to the doer, we use active voice. If we want to give importance to the receiver, we use passive voice. So for example, in the first sentence, the boy killed the rat. The boy killed the rat. So here first sentence we gave importance to the boy. In the second sentence, the rat was killed by the boy. Second sentence, we gave importance to the rat. So when based on the importance given to the doer or receiver, so we decide that sentence is active voice or passive voice, my dear friends. So here you see, if the doer of the action is unknown, unimportant, or to give importance to the receiver of the action, we use passive voice. If the doer of the action is unknown, if the doer of the action is unimportant, then we use passive voice, my dear friends. At the same time, if we want to give importance to the receiver of the action, we use passive voice. So let us see the example. So here in this example, the purse is stolen. Here the doer of the action is unknown. The doer of the action is unknown, my dear friends. So because who has stolen, nobody knows. So that's why, so then in such conditions we use passive voice. At the same time, the gate is opened by the P1. In the second sentence, so doer of the action is unimportant, is not so important person. So the important thing is whether the gate is opened or not. That's why importance is given in such conditions. So we use passive voice. At the same time, third sentence you can see, holiday is declared by the headmaster. So now we want to give importance. Now we want to give importance to the receiver. We want to give importance to the receiver, my dear friends. So here holiday is important rather than who has declared it or not. Okay, so that's why, so here, so we give importance or prominent to the receiver. That's why here also passive voice is used. See here. So let us go and learn other information about active voice and passive voice. See here, how to identify whether the given sentence is active or passive voice. This is one of the most important thing, my dear friends, because in our competitive exams, sometimes you are asked to convert from active into passive, or sometimes you are asked to convert from passive into active. So first you must know how the passive voice is or how the active voice is. So here is very easy formula we have to convert, that means to know whether the given sentence is active or passive voice. So what is that formula? Here the formula is here. Formula of passive voice is, if you want to call any sentence as passive voice, so there must be one to be verb, again one V3 form. If there is only one to be verb, that is not a passive voice. If there is only one V3 form of the verb, that is also not a passive voice. So let us go and learn some, what I can call, so what are the to be verbs we have in English. So here we have 8 to be verbs. So these are is, am, are, was, were, be, been, being. So if you want to frame a passive sentence, there must be one to be verb, my dear friends. Any one of these can be used to frame a passive sentence. If without these we cannot frame, without these to be verbs we cannot frame a passive sentence, my dear friends. So apart from this, only with the help of to be verbs we cannot frame a passive sentence. So we must need one to be verb, at the same time we must need one V3 form of the verb. What is that V3 form of the verb? So I think you might have known the forms of, that means you might have known some verb forms. What are the verb forms here? Generally we have 4 verb forms. One is present form, other one is present, other one is past, other one is past participle, other one is present participle, my dear friends. So here, for example, present form of steal, past form of steal is stole, past participle or V3 form of steal is stolen. Again V4 form of or present participle form of steal is stealing. So like that, write, wrote, written, writing. Play, played, played, playing. So like that will be there, my dear friends. See here, some examples are given. See here, the pen is stolen in the classroom. See here we have one to be verb. Again one V3 form. One to be verb is one V3 form is stolen. That's why this is a passive sentence or else passive voice. So like that, in the second example, he was writing the exam. See here, he was writing the exam. We have only one to be verb. At the same time, we don't have V3 form, my dear friends. So this is V4. So that's why we cannot frame. So that's why this sentence is not a passive sentence. If you want to call the given sentence is passive, there must be one to be verb, one must be V3 form, that form of the verb. That's why this sentence is active sentence or active voice, my dear friends. So like this, go with the third example. The story is being asked in the exam. The story is being asked in the exam. See here, here we have two to be verbs. One is he, other one is being. Again one V3 form of the verb we have, my dear friends. Asked is the V3 form of the verb. For example, ask, asked, asked, asking. So this is V3 form of the verb, my dear friends. So that's why this sentence is in passive voice. So next, Ramesh has sent me a book. Ramesh has sent me a book. This is active sentence because in this sentence we don't have any helping verb. That means to be verbs we don't have here. Of course, has is the helping verb, but we must needed one to be verb. So we don't have any one of the to be verbs in the sentence. That's why this is active sentence, my dear friends. So here in the sixth sentence, the gate has been opened since morning. See here, here been is also there, opened is also there. So that's why this is a passive sentence. Like that, in the seventh example, just you can see here, they opened the shop. Here we have only V2. We don't have V3 or we don't have to be verbs also. That's why this is also active sentence. My dear friends, you can ask. So here also opened is here. Here also opened here. So here how can we call V3? Here how can we call V2? So just because V3 always goes with the helping verbs. Any one of the helping verbs. V2 doesn't take any helping verb. So that's why this is V2, this is V3. So that's why, so if you want to frame a passive voice, we must needed one helping to be verb, one V3 form of the verb. So here we don't have the both. That's why this is active sentence, my dear friends. Okay. So here you see third question, why all the sentences in English cannot be converted from active into passive? So why we cannot convert all the sentences from cannot be converted from active into passive? The reason is sentences in English may have transitive verbs, again may have intransitive verbs. So what do you mean by transitive? What do you mean by intransitive? Transitive means if it answers to the question who or what. If it answers to the question who or what from the object position, so then that is transitive verb. If it doesn't answer to the question who or what, then we can call it as intransitive verbs. If a sentence has transitive verb, that can be converted from active into passive. If a sentence doesn't have, or if a sentence has an intransitive verb, which cannot be converted from active into passive. If it has intransitive verb, we cannot convert. If it has transitive verb, so that can be converted from active into passive. That means what it is needed to convert from active into passive? There must be a transitive verb in the sentence. For example, you see here, he teaches in the classroom. If I want to underline this in the classroom, if I go and frame a WH question for this, so what we can get? Where? Where does he teach? So if it answers to the question, if it does not answer to the question who or what, so that is not a transitive verb. Here in this sentence, teaches is intransitive verb, my dear friends. See here with the second example. He teaches a lesson. He teaches a lesson. If you underline for this, so we can frame a question to get underline word as answer or lesson as answer. It answers to the question what does he teach in the classroom. So when it answers to the question, this verb teaches has transitive verb, my dear friends. So like this, birds fly in the sky. Here also if I answers to this question, where do the birds fly? It answers to the question where. So that's why, so here also we don't have transitive verb. Here the verb is intransitive. That means intransitive means which cannot be transferred. We cannot transfer it from active into passive. So here also you see, they have been catching a ball. They have been catching a ball. In this sentence, if I underline for this object position, so we can frame what they what have they been catching? What have they been catching? They have been catching a ball. Here catching is a transitive verb, my dear friends. So like this, they are going to Mysore. Go, the word go or the verb go always uses as intransitive verb because Mysore. If I want to frame this, so it answers to the question where. Where are they going? Where are they going means again. So we want to get answer to the question who or what. So when we want to have transitive. So all intransitive verbs cannot be converted from active into passive. So like that, Sita has been reading the Ramayana. This is transitive. So like this, she gave me a banana. If I answer to the question to get underlined what is a banana, so then also it answers to the question what did she give me. So then it's also transitive. Who or what should be needed. Students are dancing in the class. Here also dancing is not a transitive verb. So because it does not answer to the question who or what. So that's why I think, my dear friends, you might have known. So what is transitive verb? What is intransitive verb? Transitive verb has an object. Intransitive verb does not have an object. So how can we identify transit? That means whether the sentence has object or not by asking, by framing WH question to get underline what is answer in the object part. So if it answers to the question who or what, then there is an object. If it does not answer to the question who or what, then we don't have an object. If we don't have any object in that sentence, so that sentence has intransitive verb. If the sentence has object, that sentence is transitive verb, my dear friends. So let us go and learn some rules to be followed while changing active into passive. What are the rules to be followed? Simply, first and foremost rule is, so we simply exchange the place of the subject and object. So we need to exchange. Subject goes to the object position, object of the sentence comes to the subject in while converting from active into passive. For example, here Raju ate an egg. Here Raju is the subject. Raju is the what I can call subject. Ate is the verb and object is the egg. So again egg comes to the subject position whereas Raju goes to the object position. So this is the first rule we need to follow. Second one is apply the passive formula. What is the passive formula, my dear friends? To be plus V3 formula. So if you want to call any sentence as a passive sentence, there must be one to be plus V3. So based on the tenses, so we are going to use different types of to be verbs and then so V3 form of the verb to be used. So at the same time, use the word by before the doer. Doer is also called as agent. That means before the object in passive voice, we must use by, my dear friends. So like this, tense of the active voice remain unchanged. So this is also very important thing we need to keep in our mind. So what is this? Tense of the active voice remain unchanged. That means we should not change any tense. That means if the active voice is in simple present tense, passive voice also should be remain unchanged. That means should be in simple present tense only. So if it is past tense, passive voice also should be in past tense, my dear friends. So like that, meaning of the active voice remain unchanged even after converting it into passive voice. Meaning also should be remain unchanged. Again, tense also should be remain unchanged. These are the some important rules to be followed while converting from active into passive. So let us go and learn, my dear friends. Friends, let us go and learn how to convert active into passive in simple present tense. In today's class, in today's video we are going to learn only simple present tense. How to convert a simple present tense active sentence into passive. See, formula of simple present tense active sentence is subject plus V1 plus object or complement. So let us go and learn with the examples. Here Suman drinks juice. Here drinks is transitive verb. This can be converted from active into passive. How can you say transitive verb? Because drink, that means if I underline for this juice, if I frame a question, WH question, so that it answers to the question, what does Suman drink? So that's why this is a transitive verb. This can be converted from active into passive. The passive formula is what I did, juice. I brought the object into the subject position. I sent what I can call subject into the object position. Again, drinks. I changed what I can call. So I used to be verb as is, am, and are to be used in simple present tense. Again, drinks, the V3 form of drinks is drunken. So this is the passive voice, my dear friends. So next, second sentence, Rani watches the movie. Here also watches is the transitive verb. So movie is brought to subject position, Rani is sent to the object position. Again, watches changes, watch V3 form of watches is watched. Again, are is used. Why do we use are here? Because the movies, the subject is in plural, or movies, the subject is in plural. That's why are is used. Are is used for plural, is used for singular, am is used for I. If the subject contains I, then only we use am, my dear friends. So let us go and learn with the other example. So you cut an apple. You cut an apple. Cut is also a transitive verb because an apple is object. It answers to the question, so who or what. So here an apple is brought to the subject position, you sent to the object position. Again, is used. Again, V3 form of cut is cut only. Cut, cut, cut. So V1 is cut, V2 is cut, V3 is also cut. So that's why this is also passive sentence, my dear friends. So like this, father brings chocolates to children. See, my dear friends, here chocolates, what does father brings to the children? It answers to the question what. That's why this is object number 1. Whom or who does father bring chocolate? It answers to the question who or what or whom. So that's why here we have two objects. So when we have two objects, we can convert two passive sentences by taking first object as the what you can call subject, by bringing the first object into subject position, again by bringing second object into subject position, we can frame two passive sentences. See here, chocolates are brought to his children by his father. His children are bought chocolates by father. So like this we can convert from active into passive, my dear friends. So let us have a quick test here. My dear friends, identify the, so in the test 1, identify the following sentence whether they have transitive verb or intransitive verb. She speaks the truth. What does she speak? This is transitive. So here she goes to market. Here where? This is intransitive. So again third one, they purchase a book. What do they purchase? Book answers to the question what. So that's why this is what I can call transitive verb. We have answered the questions. Here also transitive verb. I am teaching grammar. What am I teaching? Grammar. It answers the question what. This is also what. So that's why these are all. So these three also transitive verbs. Only one is intransitive verb, my dear friends. So next, test number 2. Identify the following sentence whether they are active or passive. See, it's very easy. You have attended the function. This sentence is an active sentence because we don't have here to be verb. See, second question. The purse was stolen. Was is the to be verb. Stolen is V3. So that's why this is passive voice. The judgment has been announced. In this sentence we don't have any to be verb. That's why this is active voice. They are talking in the class. They are talking in the class. In this sentence we have to be verb. But we don't have V3 form of the verb. That's why this is active sentence, my dear friends. He swims in the well. He swims in the well. So here we don't have V3 also we don't have. Again to be also we don't have. This is active sentence, my dear friends. So let's go with the third test. Change the following sentences into passive. We buy books from the market. Books are bought by us from the market. They tell stories in the class. Stories are told in the class by them. He gives me a book. A book is given to me by him, or I am given a book by him. We play cricket in the field. Cricket is played by us in the field. Next, the government announces the award. The award is announced by the government. So my dear friends, so in the next video, so we are going to learn so with the other tenses, like so today we have learned only simple present tense. So with the other tenses, how to convert from active into passive, we are going to learn. Keep watching our channel so that for other what you can call tenses, conversion of active into passive. Thank you very much, my dear friends.